Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite paranormal investigator. My name's Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight, and on today's show, we have Florida's dynamic duo when it comes to paranormal investigation. From 305 Paranormal, it's Jen and Mondo. Welcome. Oh, there you are. Welcome to the show.
Hey there, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for having
I
me.
meant to go to the 2-shot and I hit the wrong button. There we go. That's us. Okay. Real quick. Not real quick. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about 305 Paranormal and then get into your show?
Awesome. Perfect. You want to start?
Go ahead. My story always starts with yours. So.
All right. So 305 Paranormal, we are husband and wife couple team here in South Florida, South Florida area, Miami, and we go to like Broward and Northern Florida as far as for like investigations, stuff like that goes. We do some out of state. We were part of a bigger team before, but we kind of just broke off, and we've always worked 305 Paranormal, but stayed with our name. And I grew up experiencing paranormal stuff, seeing and hearing, your name call, and then I would hear stuff. And I just had paranormal experiences while I was young. And then when I met him, I don't know if he believed me or not, but stuff ended up happening to him. And I always remember saying that he might see stuff or get like weird, things happening to him. And eventually it did. So he fell in love with the paranormal because of me, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. It's one thing hearing about it and seeing it on TV and whatnot. But then once you have your very first paranormal experience, and I remember that like if it was yesterday. Once you have your very own, I think that's when it's like, oh, this is real. This isn't TV or anything like that. This is the real deal. That was an awesome experience, and my lovely wife took us to go and investigate at a location, and it just blew my mind, and I loved it ever since.
Fantastic. That's excellent. Okay, so this kind of leads to the question: what was your first experience with the paranormal?
You go first. I love your story.
Mine? What I can remember, so I think I consider my first is one time I was sleeping one night. I woke up and I saw a blue ball. It was like the size of maybe in between a volleyball or a little smaller than that. And it was like it's pretty big though. But again, I was like 6, 7 years old. And it was on the right corner of my closet door. And my room is dark. I had the door open because that was my nightlight, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it was just there. So I don't know if it caused me to wake up. But I just kind of like woke up. And when I woke up, I saw that. And I was just like, okay. So I did like what every child does and just kind of like close your eyes and pretend like make it, maybe I'm dreaming and goes away or whatever. But it didn't go away. Yeah. And eventually I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I kind of did the whole like jump out of bed as fast as I could to the door. It was like to the left of me. And I did that. And I was trying to knock on my parents' room, which it was just a little like wall piece that was in between us. And then their door was right here. So I was like, I'm like, Mom, trying to like wake up my mom. And my dad was that night was like, no, go away. And then because she will always go to my room every night because I was terrified, I guess. And that night, out of all nights, it didn't happen. I ended up sleeping on their bathroom floor. But
oh no, okay.
It was there for like a long time. It didn't do anything. Thinking back at it now, like as an adult, and then being an investigator for so many years and so many experiences throughout my life, I don't think it was bad. I don't remember feeling like, other than fear, like what the hell is that? But not like that dread fear that I have had since then with like say like shadow beings or stuff like that.
Oh,
Nothing like in a bad way. So we actually had a chance to go back to my childhood home before they tore it down. And
okay.
yeah, and which that was, I mean, I always wanted to go in there or ask the people who lived there throughout the years if anything had ever happened, but I never did. But that was my one opportune chance to do that, and we did like a little session there, an EVP session, and I had asked what it was, and it said basically angel, and then I kind of always thought something specific, and I didn't say who it was, but I said, all right, which one? And it said Michael.
Ooh,
Oh,
the
that's
big,
it. Okay,
big
then
Kahuna
I kinda-
Archangel Michael, right on.
Yeah. But I've always felt like he was always with me. Like I get a lot of stuff. So
That's a great first experience. Mondo, you said you just had yours not too long ago. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
It's been a few years now. So to set up the story, we had been dating for a long time. I asked this lovely lady to marry me, and she said yes. So that was awesome. A friend of ours, he let us stay with him. He had a huge house, and he basically gave us the downstairs for us to live and rent and to kind of save up for the wedding. So he did us a huge favor.
Nice.
So that was awesome for him. And we didn't know that his house was indeed, well, yeah, she did know.
I knew that I used to house sit, but you know.
This was, I hadn't had my first experience yet, so I didn't really quite know. But then as I was staying there, you would kind of hear like the footsteps when no one was home. You would hear the creaking of the wood. You would hear things like that, but it wasn't anything that happened to me. So now it was one day that both of us were at work. I got home first and I was waiting on her. So I did what I normally do and what I still do. I fire up my Sony PlayStation and I started playing games. So I'm there playing, and kind of like how Jenny is right here. So I'm playing, and all of a sudden,
and I'm the ghost.
And she's gonna be ghost. So all of a sudden, I hear the futon springs going down. Because I was sitting on a futon, I hear the springs going down, and I felt like it was super cold next to me on this side of my body. I start looking down, and I see the impression of, for lack of a better words, ghost butt. I see like the impression of something sitting next to me.
Right.
So I was at a fork in a road, and it was either I was going to acknowledge it and see what happens from there, or continue playing and act like nothing was going on and hope to God that Jenny got home fast, which if you heard the tone of how I just enunciated that, you knew what option I chose.
Right.
And she got home, and she should have known right away something was wrong with me because I told her, hey, let's go to Walmart. I hate that store. I really do. It's always slammed. You're always bumping. Right.
You called me. You had called me, and he was like, "Hey, where are you?" I'm like, "At work." Like every freaking night, like every same time. And then he's like, "What time are you going home?" I'm like, "Same time, 9 o'clock. I get off." He's like, "Oh, okay, I'll see you here." In my head, I'm like, "Weird," But then when I get home, it's like, "Hey, let's go to Walmart." And I was like, "Okay," I'm not gonna pass up a Walmart trip. Shit, I love it.
So then we get to we literally walk through the threshold of Walmart. You have your greeter that welcome to Walmart and stuff like that. I was like, yeah. This just happened to me in the house, and bum 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 bum. I'm explaining it to her, and then she goes, "Hey, spirit can hear you anywhere, even if they were like traveling with us. They can hear what you're telling them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh." So that was my very first paranormal experience.
Okay.
And then like I was telling you, she took she ended up getting tickets to go and investigate one of the more well-known locations down here in South Florida. And once we were both kind of like in that environment investigating, kind of saw how we would work as a tag team doing it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. I would love to do this. And years later, we're here.
Here you are. Right on. So, did you ever figure out who was haunting that location?
I would say multiple things, because that location is where I experienced basically Hatman, shadow beings,
Really?
yeah, mimics. Yeah, there's a lot of
Wow.
Yeah.
What were the mimics doing for you? To you?
So he would that so one of the things when I was little, I would always happen to me is I would always hear my name being called. Like my mom calling my name, right? That eventually, and I kind of think those are the first steps of clairaudience. And I consider myself clairaudient now. He started getting that at that house.
Okay.
And so I told him, I was like, just whatever you do, don't answer back, because that's what I was told when I was little.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, so I just told him, because he at first was like, what? Hey, what? Like, call me, this and that. And then after a while, I was like, hey, don't do that. Just come up to me and like, hey, did you call me or whatever? And I said, don't reply back. So that was like my first lesson back over 14 years ago to him. And then so that was one thing there. So that was a mimic thing. Also, there was a baby monitor. Yeah, a baby monitor that was in the kitchen, and it was used for the person, our friend who lived there. Their brother had a daughter who was invalid, and she had a bedroom. Sometimes she would stay upstairs. I thought she was home one of the day that I went out to jog in the morning before going to work, and when I came in, I thought maybe somebody was there, because I heard her, like the noises she would make come through the baby monitor when I was in the bathroom, in the kitchen.
Gotcha.
And then I see my friend and his mom come through the front door, and I'm like, oh, hey. And I was like, Crystal's here, and he's like, nobody's here. She's not here this weekend. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I heard, like, on the baby monitor. And he's like, no, Frank didn't bring her. So yeah, I had to go upstairs and check myself. But yeah, so that, I don't know. That to me is like something that was mimicking her. And
Sure.
Yeah, it was just weird.
I was having a discussion with a friend of mine about the differences between a mimic and a doppelganger. And I've dealt with both in my investigations, and I've had a doppelganger show up at my door, which that wasn't cool. In the form of one of my cats, duplicated one of my cats, sat right next to it, and my other two cats were like giving it some space, But I mean, dead on, exactly like one of my cats, except for one small detail. The eyes looked human, and they also looked like they didn't quite fit in the skull right,
Yeah.
So, and they blinked like a chameleon does or something like that,
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And it was outside.
No, this was years ago.
No, but I mean, like, it was outside the house to come in.
Oh yeah, it was outside the house sitting with the other cats waiting to come in.
Oh my God, hell.
Yeah, that was messed up. So I let the two real cats in because this one's weird, right? And I the other one starts to follow. I said, no. And now I'm playing dumb on purpose because I don't want anything to latch on, or know that I know kind of a thing. So I go and I clap, get out of here, go on. And I shoot it off. I was gentle enough about it, but it got the hint, and sure enough, it trotted off. I follow it because it hops this gate out into the front yard. And I follow it out. As soon as I open the gate, it's gone. And there was nowhere for it to really go without me seeing it. So,
wow.
Good times.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that wasn't cool at all. So I've experienced a doppelganger. Mimics is kind of part of the territory when you do a haunted location. And sometimes, not all the time. But so I actually had a hard time describing that. I said, well, doppelgangers imitate live people, and mimics just do the audio stuff primarily. And he says, they don't attack people? I said, they do, but it's more of a psychic attack. I actually started really having a hard time explaining what a mimic does. So, But anyway, I digress. It's all about you today.
Well, okay. I like hearing experiences.
Yeah.
So one of the yeah, my brain just you're in Miami-Dade County, is that right?
Yeah, Dade County, right?
Okay. Now, do you go you mentioned you go in the surrounding counties, but they're kind of big, right? Do you go all over Florida, different states and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've gone to different states. We'll be
Good for
going
you.
soon to New Orleans in
yeah.
the end of
July.
July, or is it June?
No, July.
Oh, end of July, yes.
Oh,
Or
very nice.
New Orleans is having their very first Paracon, so I'm super happy about that.
Yeah.
Like, are you going as special guests, or are you just going?
I could have, but no, I just wanted to go just to go. We know a lot of people that are going to be there, and I talked to the people who are hosting, and very nice people. So hopefully, if it goes well, I would definitely love to go next year as like a guest. I'm not a guest, but like one of the
A panelist?
one of the
people,
panelists,
whatever.
Sure.
But I'm just going to have fun and then check it out because we've never been to New Orleans in the first place. So,
So it's a two.
Oh, very cool. Twofer.
I'm saying I kind of want to enjoy it,
The
check it out.
very first one, and it's going to be awesome for us to be a part of that, and our very first time at New Orleans. So it's going to be a special trip.
Yeah,
Mhm.
excited.
You said that's end of June?
July.
July.
End of July. Okay. I still have time to
Literally
get
the week
tickets.
going into August.
Okay. That sounds great. I didn't know about Paracon in New Orleans. That's pretty cool. One of our sisters, you could probably see the icon down below, United Public Radio Network
Oh, okay.
is actually based, one of their digital stations is based down there. Actually, both of them are. They're based down in the New Orleans area. One's specific for New Orleans, and the other one's more like the entire Gulf Coast. But it's a digital radio station, so you can listen to it all over the world, aside from watching us live. So, or pre-recorded in this case. But but that's pretty cool. So I might check with my boss about going down there.
Oh,
That'd
See if he'll
Really cool.
sponsor the trip. That'd be cool.
Well, so the people who are running it, we're going to be, they have what we did a package deal, and it was, when we bought it was $3.99, and that included 2 nights, general admission to the stuff. Like, it included a whole bunch. Like, you're not going to get $3.99 with 2 nights stay plus general
Anywhere.
admission to the Paracon. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I can't pass this up. It was too good to be true.
Oh, that's a great deal. That's a really great deal. Okay, I'll talk to my boss about that. I got to make myself a note about that, actually. So, as we continue on here, when you're okay, so you say you started, was it always 305 Paranormal, or you started with a different group?
Well, we were always both as 305 Paranormal. I created a page mainly during COVID.
Yeah.
Before that, maybe like 2019, I started up making a social media, whatever, and it was to put our investigations or whatever we did like online to save space on my phone. That was kind of like my main goal. And then it just turned into what it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jen, you started doing paranormal investigations way before Mondo came on board. Is that correct?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you two met on the job then?
No, we met through
Okay.
like just regular online dating and stuff back in the
Oh,
day.
good for you.
Yeah.
What do you call those people? She's a ringer at ice hockey.
Oh,
A ringer is one of those that you're like, oh no, I suck. Go. You're a liar. That's what I just found out on this first date. Yeah, air hockey. There.
You like-
oh, air hockey. Okay. I was gonna say, wow, I didn't know they had a lot of ice hockey in Florida. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But air hockey, yeah, I get chumped on that every single time, every single time. So I know where you're coming from on that. Okay, so that's interesting. You met outside the business, as it were. That's kind of cool. And then now, okay. So what was the? Sorry, because it's fascinating to me. It's kind of rare to have, not too rare, but rare enough that a married couple, does the exact same thing, even as a sideline. So Mondo and Jen meet. They go on their dates, and then what? Was it just that incident that drags Mondo into the paranormal, or was Mondo hunting with you pretty much from the jump?
So, I lived so I always said that stuff. I thought something was following me. Let's put it that way. Like growing up, I was like, everywhere I go, like something always happens, something weird or whatever. And then you kind of get used to it, I guess. So I was like, oh, something's always is following me. So eventually, when he moved into my place, my place, but we did meet a MySpace. But that's all it was. I told him, that's when I told him, I was like, oh, you might get like weird stuff because I feel like something's following. Okay. Back in the time, I didn't know really how the paranormal worked enough. I didn't look into that too much. I just thought that was normal. So one day when he was alone and I was at work, I think that he said that the TV turned on by itself.
Oh, no.
Or something. Like something was happening when he was there and he was like,
We had just finished watching, it was very first night that this movie came out. And we went 40 minutes further from where we even lived. There's a whole bunch of movie theaters close to where we live, but this was the very last theater that was able to show it on night one because both of us work late shift on this particular day. Okay. So we ended up going to see Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
great!
I remember when that movie came out.
Very first night, and obviously they must have changed how it ends now. But when you saw it in the theater, the very first night after the movie ends, it ends. It doesn't have a end scene credit with the name of the actors and the people that portray them and whatnot. So I'm watching that, I'm like, what did we just watch? There's no actors or anything. Did we just see a snuff film? I thought snuff films weren't allowed in the theater.
Found footage.
Yeah, so that just tripped us out. My mind was blown. We made another trip to Walmart.
You did. When I tell you, this dude was freaked out, and I was just like, oh, whatever.
And then so we get home super late, and I kind of need a buffer between the movies and going to bed. So we started watching something safe. So we watched SpongeBob. For a little bit, and then went to sleep. I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and the TV is on. The remote was on the nightstand, so there was no way that one of us turned it on, and it wasn't even on the channel that were watching, which was Nickelodeon. It was on one of those a channel that doesn't have signal, and it's that black and white, and it's
the static, yeah.
That's what it was on, and I was like,
I didn't really have cable.
So
that's okay.
I just turned it off and I went back to sleep. It's like, nope. So that happened there. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's right out of White Noise. You ever see that film?
Yes. Just like that.
That's cool. Oh man. So you didn't hear or see anything, did you, Mondo?
No,
the TV
no, and nor was I trying to.
Nor you're looking for it. Okay, smart move.
Close my eyes, turn it off.
He's ignoring, go back to sleep.
Nothing to see here. Click. Okay, so that was one of your first experiences, and then So when were you brought onto the team then to go investigate?
So basically, we did that night at the Deering Estate that Jenny got us the tickets for. I was fascinated because at that point, it was like, cool, I want to do this. I want to.
That was in 2018.
Yeah,
October 2018 when we went to the Deering Estate.
I wanted to get answers as to what it was that was going on. Why did I experience that? who was it that did that? Why did that happen to me? Like, I just wanted answers, and then she brought that up, and I was like, oh, you know what? It's cool. Like, let's do it. Went, loved it. That after that night, you had seen like a posting.
Yeah.
Right?
So the people who were hosting at that event, they were recruiting team members, and then I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And then, I just kept scrolling, and then it was eating me in my brain, like email them. And I was like a couple days later, I told him, he was like watching TV, and I just sat in the conference. I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to email those people and like see if I can be part of the team. And he was like, okay, cool. And then nothing else. And I just did that. And then they interviewed me, and they kind of had me on, what do you call that?
Like a trial.
Internship.
Yeah.
And then I was part of their team. And eventually when we were hosting events at South Florida locations like Daring Estate, like Yesteryear Village and stuff like that. There's a Gold Coast museum that, it was public events, and we would showcase equipment and just history about the location. So I was doing that, and then I was like, oh man, I want you to see this place, come with me one of those nights. And then he did. And then he was there so much that it's like, he just kind of got grandfathered in with me,
Pretty much.
Okay.
So it's funny, our mentor,
co-founder of that team, which is it's War Party Paranormal.
Yeah, it's Marla Scardy Burns. We love you.
So yeah,
basically, we're at Gold Coast Railroad Museum, and then she's like, "Hey, okay, so I want Jenny and Mondo to grab these guests and take them to one of the train stations, train car, and go investigate." And then I look at her, I was like, wait, me? Like, no one else?
I'm doing work now. Not just me, because I would just post people by myself.
Like, I'm not part of this team. And then she goes, well, what the hell have you been doing all this time with us?
Hanging out with me.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm part of the team now. So there you go.
There you have it.
Yeah.
In by association, I guess. Yeah. But so how long? That was 2018. So you've been at it for 7 8
Yeah. So we were with them in the beginning of 2019, and then until recently. Was it last year? Yeah. So last year, we're still good friends with them, with the other co-founder, because it's Scotty and John who are the co-founders of that team, and we just kind of broke off and just do our. We're still 305. We're just doing our own thing, but we didn't want to be like team. Like
I get you. You're your own thing. You'll coordinate maybe, but you're your own You're your own team. Gotcha.
We just hung out with them about a couple of weeks ago. One of our old stomping grounds is the cemetery we do up here in Jupiter, Florida, and that's actually where my tryout was for them, and where they interviewed me. So it was cool going back there, because we haven't been there in way over a year. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. How'd that go?
It went pretty good. We tried to contact Scotty, our team leader, and feels like she came through a little bit. I saw something that cemetery is known for shadow figures. And I don't find cemeteries to be really that super haunted or active. But there, for some reason, I don't know what is it there. If it's because maybe there's native grounds close to there. I just don't. I can't remember what type of which one exactly. I don't remember. Oh, Tequesta. It is Tequesta. Yeah. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but sometimes it feels like a little bit more dark in that cemetery.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. We did it's semi-related, but we accidentally, I'm a filmmaker, among other things. And, this was a long time ago, but we actually went to an abandoned cemetery. So we got permission to be there. The sheriff knew we were there, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things we had to do was put zombies in the ground.
Oh no.
So we have like 5 or 6 actors made up properly. torn clothes and all that. And we realized we didn't bring any dirt.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we were tempting fate. This is before I got into paranormal investigation. So it was like 2004 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, okay, well, there's a lot of loose dirt around. Try not to dig up the actual graves.
Oh
Oh my God. So we buried like 6 people in like maybe 6 inches of dirt. And okay, come out of the graves. And they come out of the graves and they shake it off. But I have a feeling we ticked something off doing that. And I'm not too surprised that happened. And because there was a disturbance, like a lot of disturbance, all of a sudden in one corner of the cemetery, where there was this huge oak tree, and it sounded like a cross between like howling and crying, like, but that angry cry, like coyotes were coming out of nowhere, but they're somehow up in the trees. And they were kind of barking at us and whatever. And we had big, powerful lights, and we shined them up into the trees. Couldn't see a thing.
wow.
So we one of the cast, or was it one of the crew, was kind of into the paranormal and says, okay, so I'm going to cast a little blessing to protect us after we leave this space, so we don't have any hitchhikers. And we just let her do her thing because, why? Better safe than sorry kind of a thing. And as far as I know, we were okay. I didn't have anything come home with me. I know that. But yeah, we ticked off dead people in the graveyard.
Yeah. Thinking about it now you being an investigator, you're like, that was not a good idea.
That was a very stupid move from the.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that. That was us. But again, it's about you, not me. So when you look back on your case load and everything you've done to date, what is the one case that stands out as either the scariest or the most interesting, or whatever?
I think I would say we have a few. I think not scariest, but more concerning would be something that happened to him, that something tried to attach itself to him, and it took a couple of weeks to shake off. And I was from a friend of ours' jail here in North Florida, Gilchrist County Jail. And we think it's either the other people that were there at the time, so it depends who's with you investigating. You're going to get that type of energy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So that's what we think happened, because we've been there many times after the fact. We were just there when the hell did we go? March or something?
That was the first week of March.
Yeah, we were just there in March and more times prior to that. And we've never had anything like that happen that first time we went there. But it could be due to the people that were there with us investigating. So we do feel at this point, it's the energy you bring in is what you're going to get out also, Something tried to attach itself, and his face completely changed. His demeanor, his eyes were completely different. Like, it was just wild. And that was my first experience with even seeing that in person, and for everybody else that was there with us. And I was when I took him out of the environment, we were doing an EVP session when this all happened. When I took him out of the environment, I was cleansing him outside of that building. And all I remember is, not that I remember everything, but I had my hair braided. So they were like both like this, but this is all braids. And like this, like split. And this side, while I was cleansing him, something made me look, I don't know, maybe I sensed it or whatever at the time, not thinking back at it. And I saw like somebody charge at me, but this thing was so angry. Like I always remember his face, and he was just like that, like charging at me. Ooh. And I can remember his clothes. He had kind of like blue. I don't know. So I don't know if it was like a worker clothes or something, but that type of like almost like mechanic-y like type of
That
clothing.
or an inmate. That could have been
But you know, I don't even think those people had inmate clothes.
It was like a
But
one piece kind of a deal.
I don't remember
Like
being
a
one piece,
jumper
but I
suit?
do remember. No, I do remember button down, but it was like that type of mechanic blue.
Okay.
Like coming at me, but it was his face that was like really. And I looked at him, and I was just like, I kept on going. I kept like cleansing him or whatever. And I maybe thought it was gonna scare me. That's what was trying to intimidate me, but I didn't feel anything after that. But later on throughout the night, I'm looking in a mirror while I think we were taking a photo, and then I noticed like this side of the hair of my braid where this was coming at me was completely undone. So my hair was like this. And then this was like perfect. And I was like, you guys have me walking around looking, what the hell is this? Yeah, you couldn't tell me my braid was like freaking broken, like, you know. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, that's what happened. Like that thing like did something, but it just, and it's funny because you do things, or I feel like I do things and I don't realize I do them until like after, and then I start finding like meanings or whatever. So I didn't know wearing braids in your hair is protection. So I don't know. Maybe
yeah, that's old school. Yeah, that's way old
is.
school. Yeah,
I ended up finding that out. It kind of that information kind of like just fell on my lap, and I was like, okay. So I kind of feel like that all had to do, you know, with each other.
No, that's pretty cool. Let me ask you this then, Jen. When you say you're casting a blessing or a cleansing, are you a practitioner of one sort or another, or do you just know a few steps and a few things to kind of help out?
I'm not a practitioner or shaman or anything. I just do what I would have done to myself or anybody else that needed like a cleansing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Just checking. I say that because my partner in Scary is a practitioner, and we were when my buddy Henry and I were running it. Henry passed in 2021. Just by the way, he was the skeptic. I mean, built-in perfect team. I wanted to believe, but I was but evidence had to present itself. But I could analyze certain things certain way. But he was the absolute skeptic. And he's the one who came to me and said, Tim, we need a psychic because neither of us are psychic. I said, really? That surprises me. We've been doing the whole game like 2 or 3 years by this point. And so I said, okay, I'll put the word out. And we must have interviewed about, I'd say 5 or 6 people. And some of them were just absolutely not what we were looking for. I mean, they were the carnival soothsayers laying down tarot cards, or one lady had she was a known spiritualist, I put in quotes, but I don't know her, and she whips out this K2 meter as a sign of her abilities, and she just starts talking to the air basically, and the K2 meter would ping a little, but like highest end, it'd give one, but it'd be like that quick, but Henry, in his brilliance, in his scientific mind, timed it. So she kept saying, "Oh yes, okay, so that's a yes to my question. What about this, that, and the other thing? Oh, okay, that's another yes to my question." But Henry clocked the pings, and he said, yeah, that's happening literally every 45 seconds or 55 seconds or something like that. It's like, good for you, man. I didn't even think to time it. And so she was out the door, and then we met JJ Rose 777, as she's known on the internet. But do you guys know JJ?
I know JJ. I talked to her. It's funny. I think I found her originally through David down the rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
Yeah, and then he told me to reach out to her because, like sometimes I have like crazy experiences, dreams or whatever. He's like, you need to talk to her. Mm-hmm. And then I went to reach out to her at one point. And then in my head, I was like, I feel like I was going to bother her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, No, I don't want to her. Yeah, maybe she wouldn't want to hear like my experiences or something.
Sure.
So then, and then I never did. But I always wanted her. I always wanted to talk to her because, like, I do listen to her videos and stuff on her YouTube, and like I like listening to her insights and stuff. Like I like that. I like listening to people who like have the same experiences, and maybe it's like something.
Yeah.
I kind of want to feel like if maybe somebody's had the same thing I've had, I can understand it more. So then I never did, and then like literally like 2.5 years, like almost a year and a half to 2 years passed by, and then I got brought up again. And then I had told David's like, you never like reached out to her or whatever. Like, what happened? I was like, no, but I was like, I really kind of want her on our podcast at that point. This was like years later now.
Yeah.
And then he goes, why didn't you? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I felt like she wouldn't want to like listen to me or something like that. And he goes, what's weird? He goes, she said that people will come to her when she's ready. And then at that point, I was like in my head, like reach out to her at that point, like, And then I was like, really? And then in my head, I was like, damn, it kind of it's weird because I was like, maybe that is what happened. I wasn't ready to like really talk to her at that time. But now I'm like, I have talked to her at this point. She's very nice. And I think she's very good at what she does. Yeah, so I can't wait to, she's actually supposed to be on our show, just like you. So I had to give her a certain date, but yeah.
Maybe we should be on together.
Oh, I would freaking love that. That would be cool.
The scary team. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you want to do us individually, that's fine with me too.
We can do both.
We can do both. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Compare notes. But what I was going to further mention, and my audience more or less knows this, but we finally land on JJ after this exhausting trial and error of about 3 or 4 months of meeting these different types of psychics. And she says, I can meet with you guys on a certain day. That date fell through, and then we get a case, one of our weirdest cases, I might add. And I say, Henry, best way the tester is in the field. So we bring her in on the case, and I say, okay, so I want you to stay out of sight, out of mind, and out of contact with the environment, which was, in this case, easy to do because she was sat in her car, and we were like 4 stories up in this apartment building. And so I call her down. And the reason I call her down is because we do a tech through. We just scan everything with our equipment, do a baseline check, yada, yada. You know how that goes. And everything fails. All the batteries get drained within like 15, 20 minutes. And they were big batteries, really nice. I had really nice stuff back in the day. I mean, I still do, but they should have lasted 2, 3, 4 hours. And they're empty inside of 20 minutes. Every single cell I have, dead. So I guess we're bringing up the psychic. So we call her down. She comes up, and she and I have a similar reaction. I'm empathic to a degree. I'm not the most powerful empath in the world, but when I hit the threshold of this place, this apartment, it was like, suddenly you're slogging through Jello, ethereal Jello, and it's super warm and dense and grody, and it's like it's kind of like being in Florida on those muggy days.
Very humid day. Yeah.
Very humid day. Yeah. And it was super warm and uncomfortable, and they had the AC blasting. Okay, no effect. And she hits the same wall. We call it the wall. And she and I share a look at one point and say, yeah, I felt that too. And Henry, being the complete...
He's like, walking. No, nothing.
It's a little warm in here, but it's not that bad. He just doesn't register with the paranormal, which is why I love him. Because, he just has that empirical mindset. Anyway, so she not only does her thing, but she convinces the skeptic, my buddy Henry, that she's the real deal. Because when she takes us aside after doing her walkthrough, she says, yeah, they got major problems here. What do you want me to do about it? I said, I tell you what, I want you to nuke this place. I don't want to ever have to come back here again. And when I call them in 2 weeks, they're going to say everything's wonderful. Gauntlet thrown, ready to rock and roll, and she delivered in a big bad way, in a big awesome way, I should say. And because we all felt it. The clients were there, we were there. She walks in the other room where this thing is manifested. Some big evil entity, by the way. And she nukes it, and we feel it. Have you ever been to a Civil War reenactment at all? Or something like that where they fire off the cannons?
Oh, yeah.
And you feel it, you feel it in you not only hear it, but you feel it in your chest. Yeah. Okay, imagine that without the sound. Just this concussion wave, boom, rockets through the entire apartment complex. And it's like, was that an earthquake? That was no earthquake. I felt that here. And everyone else said, yeah, me too. I felt it in my chest. And Henry and I look at each other, and suddenly we notice the environment's changed. The AC is finally doing its job. Never mind, it's been overclocked for a few days, apparently. And it's starting to get too cold, even. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's the one. And Henry's the one who said that to me. Yeah. He said, that's her. She's the one. Done. And she was part of Scary ever since.
Wow, that's awesome.
Again, it's you. It's about you. I should shut up.
I was gonna say, what type of entity was it?
She described it as an excessively dark entity, possibly demonic. Actually, I think she said it was demonic, only because of the story we were told. Not only, but in relation to the story we were told about what the client's experience was. And it turned out she was going to be the sacrificial lamb, as it were, in a satanic
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Ritual.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things, she was young, she was in high school, she just wanted to have fun, yada yada, but she wasn't making a lot of friends. And these people just kind of show up and they're, we'll be your friend. Why don't you come over and have drugs and drink with us? We're not and play video games. This is your vacation spot. So they lure her in that way. And so, we love you. You know what? We want you to join our little club. And you can kind of see where it goes from there. And they say, well, okay, we have these silly clothes we want you to wear. And it was something like either a white or a black dress slip type of deal. And we're going to walk you down there. We're going to lay it. They laid it out for her. And they said, we're going to put you on this altar looking thing. Don't worry about it. Just a stupid little club thing we do. And then our leader, I forget his name. She named him too. Our leader's going to raise this knife and then bring it down and nothing else. It's just pure ceremonial dumbassery. But that's the way they played it out to her, right?
Yeah.
Or explained it to her. God, I can't talk today. And so, sure enough, they're down, put her in the stupid slip, and they start chanting. It's like, she gets a whisper from like one of the other girls there. It's like, it's okay. It's just part of our little ceremony. Okay. A knife comes up, and there was every intent to kill this girl.
Wow.
And bam, right out of a movie, bam, the doors get kicked in. The local sheriffs raid that entire thing and stop it right before the death blow. And she's saved, and she doesn't understand what's going on initially. And then the sheriffs explain to her, well, yeah, they're a cult. They've murdered people in the name of their, religious services. And, we had them, we were tracking them and you, and we figured we better get our people together, and ta-da, they saved the day. So, yeah, good times. So something attached to her at one point or another. Mm-hmm. And followed her around because she was somewhere out in the Midwest, and then she moved to Chicago, and then somewhere in Arizona, and then finally out near us in California, and this weird things were always happening around her, and it would calm down for a bit when she first moved, then would pick right back up. So,
Wow.
yeah, good times. Again, it's all about you. And I keep telling you the same stories over and over. But
I do know that does happen. So I've heard of, and even as far back as like I think Art Bell had a case. Some caller came in with talking about it was some lady, and she was gonna do that. She was bringing up her daughter for that. I do remember that in one night, one of those his show nights. So exactly the same setup, like luring people in. Oh my God, they kind of see what the person likes. Do they like drugs? Do they like alcohol? Hey, you like video games? We can you can do whatever hell you want here.
Exactly.
Forget about your parents, and then just kind of isolate the person until they do that. So that's very real.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a pretty common tactic, which is unfortunate. And there was a flap recently, like flap. Well, that usually belongs to UFOs, but there was a satanic issue in like Ohio or something like that recently. I don't know if you heard about that or not, but apparently something similar was happening, but this was out in the forest somewhere.
I have to look it up.
Wow.
Did you guys ever run into that, anything like that in your investigations?
Not really. Not that I can think of. There is a location out here called Aerojet, and that is a old abandoned NASA, right?
It was a missile
silo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people do rituals out there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
So we've seen evidence of that, of people doing stuff like that. And then there's been murders out there. People have died, and who knows what the hell's going on out there.
Wow.
It's like in the middle of the Everglades.
Oh, okay. The silos out there, the old silos out there, Everglades. Yeah. Okay. The substations out there. Wow. Is that attached to the Air Force Base that's near there in the Panhandle, Eckland, or something like that? No.
No, it's separate.
Because Eckland, right, yeah, Eckland's further in. I was formerly in the Air Force, so I'm trying to think of where these places are. Okay. That's crazy. I had something similar happen. Apparently people were breaking in to do rituals at a kids park that I worked at. A local kids park. It's a family park, they got little rides and stuff like that. And apparently they're cut a hole in the back fence, and we had this like a story time theme going on this little tiny train, right?
Yeah.
And apparently one of the fairy tale princesses, I can't remember which one, was apparently dolled up one night in really descript satanic stuff, and they actually shut the ride down for like a week so they can clean up the site. They found dead cats and other critters out there, and some of these statues that have been there for like 50 years, because this place is kind of old, were just drenched in blood and black paint, and it was really, really disgusting. And still, even after the cleanup, whenever you went by there, there was a vibe. It was dark and it was messed up.
Sounds creepy.
Yeah, was not cool. That kind of brings up another question. When you've been on your investigations, or even not, do you go by a place and say no? Have you ever refused to go in to a given location?
I know one, but do you have one?
No.
But not really a no. But there was a year ago we went camping in a state park here in Naples area, and it's an old campground. It's called Coruscant, Right? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Corshon. What the hell's the name of the rest of it? It's Corshon Park, but it's a and you can camp there.
Okay.
And you can either bring your trailers or whatever, or you can pitch a tent. Like there's certain different lots for it. So our intent purposes was go there, camp there, go to the actual village where these people lived back in the day, and they have the historical houses and stuff, and go there at night. So when we did that, there was one house there in particular where I was just like, I'm good. So the people we were with, we were walking with, and we were just kind of doing our thing at night. We went to every little cabin and stuff like that, but that one cabin I just refused to go to. I just stayed kind of like on the main pathway where we were walking on, and the more closer I got to it, like that feeling of I don't know, I don't want to say dread, but it was just like, don't do it. And I don't know why it was like that, but they're like, hey, you coming? I was like, I'm good here. I don't tell anybody not to go anywhere. If I feel something, that's all me. So, and then I was like, I told him, I was like, you can go. He's like, no, I trust your judgment. So he's always like, no, you're like my REM pod. You're fuck that. I'm not going anywhere. I think that's my only ever really no. For the most part, prisons, whatever have you, I'm good to go. I don't really get that too much.
That's cool. I've yet to experience a place that's turned me back, as far as the vibe goes, or maybe go, that's bad. So, so far we're good. One of the things I was talking to another investigator about on a different show was the false leads, the false. Not false per se. Like you walk into a house and you can almost immediately tell, oh, that's the ventilation, or that's the electrical system, or the plumbing, or whatever. Rats, bugs, whatever.
Okay.
And have you ever experienced those guys? And then the client still insists, no, it's ghosts. I'm telling you, it's ghosts. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah, I remember the lady we did
Oh my God.
we did a residential. It was me, him, and two other friends of ours. And
This is a funny story.
So at the end of the day, it was when you go in there, it smelled a lot like weed. I'm talking about that thing was thick inside of this house, right? And what it was is the grandmother. So the lady who called us there, her mom, and I don't remember if she told me if she used to live there or not, but she had one point I lived there. She didn't like what was going on in the house, and that was what they were experiencing. And it was basically like she doesn't like that activity. And that was causing the haunting, but it was just that. It was literally like nothing else to it. Because she was thinking like it was all types of, she thought it was like witchcraft. She thought somebody was doing like leaving her stuff and doing her, she thought it was an ex-boyfriend on top of that too. And I'm like, no, your mom is mad.
Now was mom a spirit?
Oh yeah, she had passed.
Mom was a spirit. Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah, and she was the one that was causing the mom. I guess she was driving her, her daughter, the mom who called us, nuts with like activity, and it was because she watches over them, and she wasn't really happy with what was going on with her kids, which is her grandkids, and at the end of the day.
Gotcha. What about, so you've never had something where it's rats or it's,
I can tell you
else.
Yes, at a location, like an actual haunted location. I just don't want to name the location.
Oh, okay, that's all right. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've walked into, there's been a number of them throughout the years, and I finally developed a questionnaire to kind of weed some of this stuff out. But it was, in one case, it was, my worst case was a termite infection. Something weird was happening in the attic, and it only happened on dark and stormy nights and that type of thing. It's like, okay. So I pop up in the attic, and his support beams, were all termite ridden.
Oh, man.
And there happened to be a storm blowing in that day. And when there's a big gust of wind, the roof went whoop. Like little seams of daylight came through. It's like, oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you might want to go live in a hotel and fix your roof.
Why?
Because I had video of it. It's like, yeah, see what happens? And then when it settles back down, it hits the whole house. So it sounds like someone's pounding, right?
Wow.
So yeah, his roof was about to fly right off his house. It was a good time.
He probably saved his life because I probably could have.
Yeah, he was so ticked though. He was like, "No, it's ghost activity. I know it is."
Yeah. So he rather had paranormal. It's funny because this is over 2 years ago. There was something, and we did our roof. It's going on 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
This 1, 2. Yeah, this is the second year.
So we done a roof already, but prior to doing our roof, I was getting something, and it wasn't every night, but when it did happen, it was like 2 nights in a row, whatever, and then it'll go away, and then it'll like come back. So in the master bedroom, I hear is like scratching and all this crazy stuff, and I can hear like cable flinging, and I was like, what the hell? And I told him, I was like, yo, you got to go up there. And he was like, well, what if it's a spirit? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then, but he was like, but if it's his way of thinking was it was going to cost too much to get pest control here to get whatever the hell was up there out. And he rather had a haunting. And in my head, I was like, are you crazy? No, I'd rather have a freaking raccoon being stuck, and let's take that crap out. But yeah,
I get you.
But it went away after we did the roof, so whatever.
Yeah, everything was.
Oh, okay, right on.
So yeah, because there was a couple holes, so whatever it was coming in after it would rain, and it would just kind of like.
Oh.
Yeah, it would stay
like hiding out in your space there. Yeah. Good times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. This will be about 2 minutes. This is station identification and a couple little commercials. So we'll be right back after this. This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN talkradio.com. Esoteric programming at its finest.
Long ago in the ancient world, the Trebus Omnes Lux, later known as the Tridents, were celebrated heroes, defenders of humanity against unspeakable monsters. Today, they continue that sacred duty in secret, hunting the dark evils that lurk just beyond the shadows. They are the Trident of Light.
Introducing Story TV, enabling true creative freedom for independent creators. Search an ever-growing library of fantastic festival winners, including Blaney Tucker's Ghost and the Monster Hunters of the TOL. Free to enjoy at lower resolutions. Pay $5 per month for 1080 and full K presentations to support the artists you enjoy. Your monthly contribution actually goes to the filmmakers themselves. Support independent film. Support Story TV. Check out our Patreon. Get deeper behind-the-scenes insights. Also, tips into being a better paranormal investigator and other fascinating content. Follow us on Instagram at paranormal.insight. Stay informed on upcoming shows, see what paranormal trends we're following, and help us reach 50,000 followers by liking, following, and sharing. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube at paranormal_insight. Click the live tab to see our latest videos. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Paranormal Insight. That's, if you can see my finger, that's Jen Mondo from 305 Paranormal. And we're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so when you do your investigations, is it primarily ghosts or do you do cryptids, UFOs, stuff like that?
I would love to do cryptid investigation. What I want to do is kind of go to Ocala State Forest, and I heard we can camp there. So my main goal to go there is to do cryptid stuff. Could I hear there's like maybe UFO stuff out there? I'm not too sure, but I would like to test it out. I kind of want to test out a theory if we can communicate with any type of cryptid entity through like spirit box, or if they can manipulate maybe like a word bank or whatever, like an obvious or something, or anything at this point. Being that maybe they're interdimensional, I don't know how that works, but I would love to try it out. And UFO, I don't know anything UFO related really down here in South Florida. But I would love to do it. I would love to figure it out.
Wasn't there a big, and again, it's still there, it still hasn't been quite proven, but at the same time, it kind of was, the whole Miami Mall alien thing. Do you guys know about that at all? Or anything about it? Or was it a complete hoax and we were all fooled?
It's complete trash.
Was it? Okay.
How Miami police department work here, we are exaggerated. And for reason being, because that location is a tourist trap. Like, it's Bayside, basically, is what it is. And being it's already heavily, has heavy security already for being the dates that it was. I think it was either New Year's or Christmas or something. Like, it's very big on security. So they already have a lot of presentation as far as cops, just in general, as command presence. So that's a reason why, law enforcement. So when any little thing like happens, especially there, because they have had gang fights, a lot of young kids. It's a young kid hangout on top of like being a big touristy thing. So if you have like an active shooter there, that was going around at that time frame, there was active shooters going on. So that's the last thing you want, is that happening like on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day there.
Sure.
That would be a big fail. So, they went balls to the wall with their freaking with the cops. And Miami-Dade PD City of Miami is the biggest at that time, was the biggest police force down here. And then there's other ones. There's Miami-Dade, that's City of Miami. Then you have FHP, which is Florida Highway Patrol. So we have like a lot.
And they all converge to that mall.
Oh yeah, if you have no idea. If you get stopped by a car, you get stopped here, all the buddies come out. Like, next thing you know, you have like 8 cop cars just for your one ticket.
Just for a traffic stop. Oh my god,
this is normal. So that's why when I say, I'm like, to me, it's normal. It's completely normal.
Okay. So it was completely blown out of proportion then.
Yeah, and then even if you're doing, I remember at one point there was kids doing like fireworks there, but there it's so open that it would sound like, at first you would probably think it was like shotguns. Oh. So, that's the first thing that people think of. They don't even think fireworks at first, and you're just gonna have people scatter and run all over the place, and then it just becomes chaotic really fast. Yeah.
So it was a bunch of teenagers having fun with fireworks.
It broke out. A big fight did happen. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious. I was just wondering if you had the final word on that. It sounds like you do. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
It's the norm. It's Miami.
It's the norm. Or something like, how many cop cars showed up? There was something like 30 or something like that surrounded the mall. Oh my god, that was
probably more than that, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe it. There were a lot.
Yeah.
That place was painted red and blue with the strobes and everything. Oh my goodness.
It's Miami for you.
Yeah. So you said there's not a lot of UFO activity. That's not what I hear, though. I hear there's a ton of UFO activity out there.
Probably in northern Florida. I think I've seen something in Tampa area. I've seen something with UFO, and maybe more north of here. But like at least where we're at in South Florida, I haven't seen any. Maybe in the Keys. I'm not sure about the Keys now.
Keys would make sense. I know in the Panhandle there's a huge, like, constant wave. It's like it spikes and then it doesn't, and it spikes and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Just to further elaborate on what Jenny was saying, and I kind of figured that this was the time frame. So this was December 31st going into January 1st.
Gotcha.
So it is Bayside, part of Miami, Florida, and that particular area. Every year they host the New Year's like bash. They do
a drop the ball thing,
like New York, New York, and they have concerts and the people singing and things like that. So yes, security is amped up already, or police officers are amped up already because it's an outdoor event. So they're performing and things like that.
That makes sense.
So
okay.
That's
thanks
really
for clearing that up. Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes a lot of sense, really. Given the reaction makes more sense now, especially that it's a New Year's event that's about to happen in the area. So, got to keep it all secure. I get it. When you do an investigation, do you have a checklist you go through now, or do you just do a personal interview, figure out what's going on, and go for it?
As far as like a residential, or just like a something that we rent and like go to like Waverly or something. Let's just say.
If you go to Waverly, invite me along. Either or, I mean, whether if it's a business or a residential, I mean, do you guys go through a process of eliminating, say, you have termites in your roof kind of a deal, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I like how you had spoke about before. Definitely do a baseline sweep, check everything.
Okay. So you go in live, because I do a checklist now, and I do an on the phone interview.
Well,
before I even go out there.
Yeah. When we had done it, we never talked to the persons. So we were the ones doing the baseline thing. But we would talk to the people there, and I would kind of get a feel for them. Maybe there's no substance abuse, stuff like that. Maybe they have their own thing going on, which happens a lot, unfortunately. At the end of the day, that's really what we see is what it is.
Really? You have a lot of that? Like a lot? Because I just experienced it for like the first time last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, like how we said, the grandmother of this person that was causing the issues, but at the end, they're making it even more active, and it's really doesn't have to be. There was another case that we weren't directly on, but teammates of ours was on, and there was alcohol problem with that one. And the thing is, in some cases it's more delicate because there's children involved, and it's more like, all right, now we got to do, it's either we got to call maybe call the cops and do like a wellness check, because that's kind of off. It's always good to go in pairs. Don't drive into their driveway, and somehow the next thing you know, you're like, shit, the gate's locked. You never know the type of scenarios that could happen. I know people that have had different scenarios happen like this, and you always gotta be cautious. There was not that long ago, we were talking about it with somebody in North Florida. Her name is Denise. She was gonna go to a residential in Georgia, so she's very close to like the state line.
Okay.
And the person in Georgia was calling people to do residentials, but what he wanted to do was go out and kill them. So, you can't really trust.
He wanted to kill them?
Well, yeah, he actually did. He ended up being on the news and some other person went out, and that's the person he ended up doing that to.
He was luring people out with fake cases, and he was killing them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this at all. No, when was this?
This is a couple of years back. At least 2-3 years ago, the most. I'll find a thing and I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that's frightening.
Yeah,
I have to admit.
Yeah,
I have to admit there was a 1 or 2 cases that came in on the phone call, and you go, yeah, something's off about this. Is why I do the interviews on the phone, and a couple of them you go, yeah, really, you're experiencing that. Why don't you call me back in a couple of days if it persists? And because something's off, they're saying the wrong things, or they're they're changing their story every 2 minutes. It's like, wait, that's not what you said last time. Oh, I got confused. Oh, okay, sure. And so you ask them calling you back, they never do. And I think, I probably avoided nasty fate by doing that. Oh my God, that is. Did you guys get a call for that gig?
Not for that one, no, not for that, because that was way. I would have passed that one either way to other teams, network, because that's in Georgia. That's like over 8 hours away from us.
Yeah, that's a drive.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez, that's wow. I'm smiling, but I'm not. I tell you what, that's not.
It's something to think about, huh?
Yeah, it does. Oh, man. Oh, that's horrible. So he was tagging paranormal. Did he ever have a motive as to why?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I guess when you send me the article, I could do some digging.
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh, that's just stuck in my mind now. That's crazy. All right. Let's move on then. So what is the furthest you've gone on the case?
On the case, as far as like residential, probably it would have been Broward, right?
No, that was.
No, I don't know. That was farther up.
That was Port St. Lucie, which is about a 2-hour, 15-30-ish one way, and then coming back.
Ooh, okay.
So you're driving like 5 hours.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, I have a similar problem that you do. My state is very long.
I hate it. It's the worst. Sucks.
It would be better if we lived in the middle.
Yeah.
But we live at the very bottom.
Yeah.
At the bottom, yeah. Nice place, though. I can't deny what a nice place it is.
Well, the middle is nice too, but and there it's more convenient to drive out.
Yeah.
I hear you. I am somewhat central to my state where I'm at, but at the same time, man, the traffic sometimes gets gnarly. It's like the cities grew up and accommodated their traffic needs, but the rest of the state didn't. Everything's still roughly 2 or 3 lanes, 2, maybe 4 lanes. It's like it's primitive. It's weird. It's weird.
I do hear there's a lot of traffic there, like our friend Joy tells us, but she lives it's more congested, I guess, where she lives, and she's always talking about traffic, and I was like,
where she live?
She lives in LA.
Oh, LA traffic's a nightmare. Oh yeah, it's bumper to bumper every single hour of the day practically. LA's a special case. Yeah. I mean, San Jose gets its traffic, but usual rush hour stuff between like 2 and 7, 2 and 6, something like that. But it extends between San Jose and the city, San Francisco. It can be a even into Oakland when you cross the bridges. It's it could take you 3 hours to get home when normally on the weekend, let's say, it would take you maybe 45 minutes. So, oh yeah, good times. But yeah, it can be hairy, especially during the rush hour. at the different commute hours. But we're not here to talk about traffic. We're here to talk about the paranormal. Okay. So, another big question. Okay. So you told me your most interesting case, if I remember correctly. What was the case that made you say, or made you almost quit? If, made you go, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm walking away. Was there ever a case like that for you?
Nope.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad.
But you know what? I will tell you a really interesting case.
Please do.
So this was cool because of a friend of ours. He's like family to us, Joe. He was at St. Augustine, Florida, and we wanted to do kind of like an experiment to see if him being live, and we kind of did like a WebEx type of thing or a StreamYard thing, where he was live at St. Augustine and I was here in Miami, and I wanted to see if I can investigate from Miami to where he's at via video call. I was getting responses left and right, and then I was on Instagram Live, and then it turned into like, hey, let's see if we can get anybody else to jump on. All of a sudden, we had a friend of ours, Mike from Canada, and a friend of ours, Miguel from El Salvador. We were investigating in 3 different countries and getting responses in the digital recorders that each of us had from the different countries.
Really?
The Joe being in St. Augustine. Yeah.
So wait a minute. The individual recorders at the individual points were getting those recordings, not St. Augustine?
Nope.
Right.
Whoa. Oh, energy travels, man. That
Yeah.
kind of speaks to that right
So
there.
Joe would ask the questions, and we're picking up Joe on our recorders, and we're getting the responses from where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe's in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And we would ask questions, and he would get the responses from over there. He would have like an Ovilus, and it would respond to us. The Ovilus was giving
Mike, that was happening for Mike. Mike had
right.
Ovilus,
He was getting responses. So different. All of us were using different pieces of equipment, and we were all getting responses. So that was the most interesting, I would think, as well. Being that it was 3 different countries and we were getting responses.
That's amazing. When was this? When did you when was the experiment?
This was last year, and we did upload it it's on our YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on
it's on YouTube.
Okay. Well, you know what? This is a good time for you to give everyone your YouTube.
YouTube channel is just like our Instagram handle is 305. When you look it up, it's 305 Paranormal. So that's Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So we do our lives through YouTube there, and on my investigations and videos I post up, which I am very backlogged, but I post up on YouTube.
Now, when I say 305 Paranormal, is that all one word?
Oh yeah,
you can find it like that. 305 Paranormal.
Oh, like how it's written here on here.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. So it should be this then. Is that correct?
Well,
yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. So go there. Go there and look at their stuff. I wish I had done better research before having you guys on, because I would have gone there first. So that's a great experiment. Have you ever done anything else like that before?
We've done it. So we've done it before, like across county. So like the neighboring county over, and we got responses like that.
We do the live show.
We've done the live show before. So like different state to state. So we did. We're here in Miami, and we investigated with Joy and Joy the house, the house that's by them.
I don't know. No, what I was saying, like with the light show was when we do the dolls, sometimes we do like a dolls episode, and she has haunted dolls. So like sometimes for
On
the live,
purpose?
yes. So we'll investigate her dolls, and I'll have my operators here and see what I pick up, and she's getting whatever she's getting on her end, and then we bring on sometimes other guests that have dolls, and then we'll do the same with them. And then it's funny, this one last time that we did that recently, we had a guest, Cindy, come on, and she has her own set of dolls. And we were just talking to her and her items or whatever. And here in our house, literally like right over here somewhere, there was one specific doll that when she first put it up, like she was grabbing each doll, and so you can see it clearly on the camera, like up close, like their face and stuff. And when she held it up, I had said, I was like, damn, it felt like her mouth moved or something. I don't know so sometimes I see things.
Mondo. He's like, yes.
Like if I saw it, or if I'm like seeing it, only I'm seeing it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's the thing with that. So I was like, I thought I saw her face move or whatever, and then somebody in the chat was like, no, I saw that.
Yeah,
like they thought they saw it also. So we kind of timestamped, but we were looking at that afterwards. But I had mentioned, I think I had said that, and then out of nowhere we heard like a freaking dog growl, like right over here in our house.
Inside of our house.
And I was like,
we don't have pets.
I was like, oh hell. I was like, hey, there it is. And you go back over there to Cindy's house, you're cute and everything. Go back.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good times.
With our show, we've been able to do cross state, but that was the first time we did cross country.
Oh, the Omen House. That's what you're talking about.
The David Omen House.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the David Omen House?
Live investigations at the Omen House too.
Yeah. Oh. And Joey, they were at the David Omen House, and then we were here doing our investigation, and we were getting responses from over there.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's incredible. I gotta try that. I'm having trouble with the buttons over here. There we go. It's an MTV video from way back when.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
Oh wow, I will try that. I got it. So if any paranormal investigators are out there that want Scary to remote in, more than happy to. That would be fun. That would be a blast, especially with major time differences. Now, wait a minute. Ecuador. I'm going back to the other case. Ecuador, is that on the same?
El Salvador.
So he's in El Salvador.
Excuse me.
So El Salvador is the same time zone as you guys, I believe.
They're Pacific? Okay.
Yeah.
So
no,
I believe so.
I think he's one. I think he's central.
Is he central? Okay.
I think he's central.
What time zone? Oh, my Lord. Time. Hey, that's what Google's for.
The internet has its purposes.
Okay. Oh no, they're central.
Yeah,
they're central.
They're central. Okay. Yeah. Still, and where's the Canadian guy then?
He's
East Coast like
on
you?
the West Coast.
He's on the West Coast.
So he's Pacific.
Yeah.
So the time difference didn't really make, because I read or heard somewhere that the time zone actually affects the ability to communicate, but I guess that was proven wrong.
Oh yeah,
because,
I haven't heard that, but no,
yeah, because if it's like 2 a.m, like peak hours in one location, it's not in a different location, different time zone. So and like the energies don't mesh or whatever. But you just proved it wrong. So maybe dialing into the active area was the way to go. I mean, that's pretty cool. And so that actually leads to another question: what time were these investigations happening? At that 2-3 a.m. or something?
Oh,
different?
No, that was I would say that was
like
9 o'clock was when we were starting it. Just me and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Miguel, I believe they jumped on like an hour later.
Okay.
So it was like a little past 10 o'clock our
Oh
time.
no, yeah, you guys were. It was way past 11. You guys were still on.
Oh yeah, we were on there for a long time because we were getting
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
responses.
man.
He started off at the cemetery, and
stop.
then he ended up walking to the fort.
Oh yes.
So then he spent a long time in the fort and stuff. So yeah, it was a couple hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I guess the cemetery is right there. Is it the
It's
fort
not that
cemeteries?
far.
Is it the fort's cemetery, rather?
No,
No.
it was just St. Augustine's original cemetery.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Right in front of right across the street of that cemetery would be the
Old Town.
the gate.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it is right there, isn't it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Oh, wow. That's incredible. There was I had a follow-up question. I should have written it down. Darn.
I do that too. Don't worry.
Okay, so it was related to okay. So when you do have your experiences, the global investigating notwithstanding, aside for now, when do you find you get the most interaction and the time of day,
Ooh.
if any?
I kind of feel like a lot of people want to do or like wait for nighttime. I kind of feel stuff is active even more so during the day. Like more, it doesn't have to necessarily be like nightfall or whatever. Another thing too I've noticed, which is something I'm kind of jotting down like my own notes, is people think like, oh, like a full moon or something, but I kind of feel like I get less activity on a full moon and more when there's like a new moon, which is nothing, like all black, like all dark.
Right.
Yeah.
What I can say as far as like weather conditions wise, like a thunderstorm,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Rainy, thunderstorm stuff. Yeah. It's more charged in that.
It's more charged
in that time.
Lots of ions floating around and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. There was a case. It wasn't mine. It was someone else's on right on the coast, and it was that the Blue Lady on the cliffs out there? It's some well-known resort area, I think in Pismo Beach or Santa Barbara or something like that. Well south of me. But it's between where San Jose and LA. So Pismo Beach. Pismo Beach is probably the biggest landmark, if you will. But anyway, there's a resort out there. It's Cliffside, and I think that's in the name, Cliffside something or other. And one of their ghosts is the Blue Lady, and she's known to walk the cliffs. She's in period costume from like the 19th century or something like that. So she has the bustle and the dress and the whole thing and the hat. And I think she even has an umbrella. But she mostly comes out during stormy weather, especially when there's a huge not tropical, but a huge thunderstorm about to roll in. And that's when she's seen the most. So it's interesting you mentioned that. It just clicked in my head. But so it's the Blue Lady. Oh, and oh gosh, my brain just took a complete dump. I'm so sorry. There was another one. I want to say it's up near. There's this town called Ben Lomond. It's known for a lot of different things, really, in the paranormal world. But they also have a resort, and it's ancient too. Not ancient, but really, really old. It's been around since the first founding of the since before the founding of the state. And so, like around, let's call it early 1800s, give or take. There was this little pub, it was just a bar. And it was mostly for the loggers in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And this place was unique because when they built it up, there was a creek that ran through it. They let the stream of this, this little creek runoff go right through the middle of the place. And apparently, all that flowing water conducts a lot of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
So naturally, what you might expect happens in an Old West pub. People die, gunfights, stabbings, whatever, fighting over this, that, and the other thing when you're drunk or high or both. And so there's a lot of death in that place, and apparently it hung on. Even through rebuilds, even through this massive rebuild that just happened, maybe 10, 15 years ago, they completely redid it, but they kept the building, they kept the boards, they kept everything. They refurbished it a little bit, but more or less, that's the exact building that's there. And then they attached a hotel to the back of it, basically. So it's fascinating because when there are storms in the hills, that's when things go nuts. I mean, object manipulation, things being thrown across the room like there was a fight going on. And it's crazy. I've yet to go there and document all this, although it's been kind of over documented, but it'd still be fun to experience to a degree, safety notwithstanding. But yeah,
that sounds like a good place. You should definitely go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. It's also known for Bigfoot activity, so I have to go. Actually, I should be up there right now, or close to right now, because apparently we're in mid-migration on the return from the mating grounds, which are supposed to be up in Washington State. And we actually have a Bigfoot museum in Ben Lomond too. It's pretty cool. There's some of the stuff they have is amazing. They have fist impressions along with foot tracks and stuff. And it's one of the first places that featured. Oh gosh, the guys, the Fat Patty, Patterson Gimlin, those guys who filmed.
Yeah,
back in the 60s, Bigfoot. Yeah, so they were there they're like, that was the first stop after they got famous. It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little spot. But yeah, Ben Lomond's like a hub. There's been lots of UFO activity up there too. So, Ben Lomond, that's on the bucket list for sure. Not bucket list, but the paranormal list. I'm talking again. It's about you. I gotta shut up. So when you talk to your clients, what is the most outrageous claim you've ever gotten?
I can't remember anything really outrageous. I'm trying to think back to that lady stuff, but nothing really. No.
Nothing stands out. Now, did you ever?
Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Because I mean, if people say like they seen like a shadow figure or something like that, sure. I mean, I believe it. I don't find that to be too outrageous because I've experienced it. So,
have you seen one before?
Yeah. I've seen one. So I can believe that.
Yeah. I had one in my house too.
I'll say, well, hell.
It's funny. It's weird when you're armed and kind of ready for stuff like this if it happens in your home. And I've been very fortunate. This was the only time I ever had anything kind of hitchhike, and I wasn't even on a case. It just kind of showed up one night. And again, I'm sorry, but I'll regale you with this. And everyone, my audience has heard this story, but so I had to get up in the middle of the night, do some business, as you might imagine, and on my way back to the room from the bathroom, I cross the hall, and I see this, person, pure black, like Vanta. They call it Vanta black when it just it sucks all the light in, right? And what I see is a kind of a hunched over individual. I called it the old witch, but I don't know that it was a witch or anything else. But it definitely had a hunch to it, right? And then it turns, and the hunch is really pronounced, and it walks away like 90 degrees, turns and walks away, and it's like it's going downstairs. I don't have a basement. I'm on a slab. And it goes downstairs. And granted, I was just awake for a little bit, but this thing was visible. I knew what I got. So I went, I grabbed my K2, not my K2, my EMF detector and my UV flashlight. If you know about UV flashlights, and you probably do, they don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful about where I'm scanning with the flashlight, and I say, you better get out of here. If I detect you at all, I'm gonna fry you where you stand. And then I started hitting the area that was affected with the UV light. I didn't hear or see anything. There was nothing recorded that came back, but I never had another issue again. So, good times.
So it looked like it was going down the stairs, but no staircase.
There's no staircase. There's never been a staircase here. This is the first house ever built here. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's neat though, because like in their dimension, in their world, I don't know what you think, but like there's stairs there for her. Like something's happening. Like she's going down something, and it's so weird because you see it against the wall.
Yeah, it was right there against the wall, and she went right down the stairs, and it was a little bit smoother than that, but there was still a gate there, but I saturated that place with UV and never had a problem again.
That's neat.
We have a flashlight story as well.
Oh, please do. Please tell.
So
Tell me.
we were investigating by ourselves with pretty much like the person that runs the location, but he went to go sleep because he had been there working for like 16, 17 hours.
Okay.
So it was just us two by ourselves, and this person is nowhere near us. At this point, it's like 2, 3 in the morning, and we're investigating. And what we decided to do was just go all out, meaning no lights, no equipment, nothing that makes sound. We just want to just be in the moment and see if we observe shadow figures just running around. This is the Railroad Museum, so we kept seeing the shadow figures running from under the train, like coming out and then like running up the thing and climbing over them. They were just walking, doing their deal. And I'm looking this way and Jenny's looking this way. So it's kind of like an L, if you will. So Jenny notices and she gets my attention and I catch some of it, but she was the one that caught the whole thing. So in this particular train cart that she was looking at, it was a presidential cart. It's known as the Ferdinand Magellan train cart, and it did its maiden voyage, taking the presidents from all over the states, but its very first trip was from Washington, D.C. to Miami, Florida. And it was actually Truman that was on board the very first trip. So what Jenny ends up finding is she sees what looks like a flashlight, and it's doing the corners of the room up to the right and back down.
Yeah, like a scope.
So it was doing like sweeps.
Like a sweep. That's exactly what I thought it was. Like somebody doing like a sweep like this, going from inside of the damn train cart.
Right.
And I'm just staring at it like, what the hell? And it's so bright. Like as bright as this, like a flashlight bright. And then imagine this is like 3 a.m. It's nothing else. It's dark.
Wow.
Now rewind a little bit past when we had investigated inside of the cart. We had come across an FBI agent that he was the one that died inside of that train cart. There was a bullet that went through, or it was a Secret
Service agent. Yeah.
It was a bullet that pierced through the window, and he was hit with it, and he died.
Wow.
But we had gotten a hold of him, and he said that he was proud to put his life on the line for the president. He would do it again, and that we thanked him for his service.
We always thank him for his service, and he always said he always comes through. Like we've talked to him multiple times at this point.
Yeah, he said you're welcome,
and he's pretty. He's pretty active.
Yes,
and he always responds, and he's always, it's, I guess, we treat him with respect and we're polite, and he's always polite back. Oh, thank you, or it's
like if he's still on duty, he's still protecting the cart. So
with the
yeah,
flashlight.
we saw the swoops. You know, like a normal person that's trying to secure for the president to come in. So they're sweeping, making sure that there's nobody where everyone is accounted for at that point in time.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing experience that we had.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so neat to have that level of interaction and to see, the procedure that
I
he
mean,
would
it
carry
blew my
out.
mind. I'd never seen anything like that again, or before that, or there. And we've been there many times.
Yeah.
That was our first like kind of overnight there at that time when we did that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it panned up the light, and I could see it. Like if the person was standing right in the middle of that cart, going up, going this way, down, go do this again. Like it did it like 2 times.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I could think of. Like, just making sure that everything's okay. And I had to get up, and I was like, what the hell? Because even though looking at it, I can tell logistically like where the person would be standing, and it's inside the cart. And because I'm looking now at this point, I can see the inside walls of the cart because of the light. That's how bright it was, like shining on the wall. But I still had to get up. Eventually, I got up and went around the train to the backside. You can't even get in there.
Yeah,
but if there was somebody to do that in there, it would be the opposite side. So like it doesn't even make sense. But I still had to like
we were
check it
trying
out
to
anyways.
debunk.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to debunk it.
We were
Regardless.
trying to debunk at that point, and we couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's a great story. Was there an attempt on the president during that trip? I'm not aware of it. I guess there was.
Yeah, I know. We do know that a secret service agent did get shot, though. Apparently, he's the one that died. But I don't know exactly what trip that would have been because they used it a couple times.
Right.
Yeah.
It was used a few times, and we don't know if it was in that specific trip to Miami that the Secret Service agent was shot. But all I do know, as far as like history wise, is the maiden voyage was from DC to Miami.
Huh. That's fantastic. I love stories like that. That's great, especially when they're recounted. It's like so. This wasn't a ghost on a loop. This was an interactive spirit, just kind of reliving his days, kind of a thing, and still doing his job, basically.
Right.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. I love those guys. Recountings, those are great. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
I was reminded of okay, it's gonna be me talking again. I was reminded of a trip I took to the Winchester Mystery House. I don't know if you know what that is out here, but Sarah Winchester, Winchester guns, it's that whole lineage. They had a mansion out here, huge mansion. And when Mr. Winchester died, it was just Sarah Winchester left behind to herself, and then she started hearing things and seeing things, and so she brought a medium in. And the medium did her thing and said, the spirits are telling me in order to, for lack of a better term, appease them, keep building. Keep building on the mansion.
This is the maze house.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's gigantic. Yeah, the false stairwells lead to lead to doors. There's hidden passages, and it's an amazing place. It really is. Well, let me see if I can call this up here. As we were, my team and I went on the tour just as a lark more than anything. We wore our shirts, and it was a lot of fun. We got questions. And we were a little disruptive to the tour guide, but not very bad. But, what I didn't expect was to actually see ghosts there, because we've seen different teams on television go there, and they say, it's dead, nothing's happening whatsoever. That wasn't our experience at all. We had, especially me, and then also JJ as well, who had a significant experience, really. It was. Let me see if I can find it here in my system. It was. Yeah, there it is. Well, hold on. Let me open that in a proper thing so I can share it with you. And I know this is old hat to my audience. They see me share this a few times, but I'll share it with you. So we're on this tour, and there's one report of a ghost that's supposed to be kind of frisky and promiscuous when it comes to ladies, and JJ experienced that ghost when he snapped her bra and it came undone on her.
No. Oh my God.
So she had to hide while I have two other ladies on my team at that time. I still do. They're like remote right now, but they helped her out in the corner after everyone kind of left the group. But my experience was way different, and the image of the promiscuous ghost and the ghost I saw showed up at one. In I'll get there in a second. They're in the same photo. In the old days. So my ghost I saw had a kind of a weird purple hue to him, and he's sawing away at something. I can't see what. And this is at the old mill where they did all the repair work on the house. They had a little miniature mill there.
Yeah.
And he's sawing away. He looks up, he goes like that, keeps going, and he fades out. And I was like, that, and I didn't catch it on camera. I had it pointed right at him too. I was so disappointed. It's the second time that's happened to me in my career. But I digress. So I tell the girls about it. I say, hey, you never guess what I saw. Oh, that's cool. Is it on camera? No. So it's just my word of mouth. And then the tour guide tells the story about the promiscuous ghost. JJ has her thing happen like the moment before that. And if you want to see what he looks like, he's in this photo. And I wish I'd taken a larger photo, but I didn't because I focused on the guy that I saw, and that was him right there with the mustache and everything and the hat. He's wearing that exact outfit. It was crazy. And that's the guy I saw. It was crazy. It was just amazing.
I have a question for you. So
sure.
So you said you were pointing the camera when this happened in that direction, but you saw it. So that's the thing. A lot of people, a lot of things that you don't catch because you saw it, but it's almost like you're clairvoyantly seeing it. Mm-hmm. Not that it's gonna record on film. Right.
It's happened to me before too.
Yeah, it happens. I think it happens a lot. It happens. I sometimes I'll practice and I'll read photos, and then not that nothing's happening in a photo, but I can see the image of something or happening, or I get a loop of something happening, and then sometimes I even question. I'm like, wait, did I see that with my eyes, or is it plays out like it's happening in front of me, but it's really not, and it kind of fades out,
So it's like a clairvoyant thing for you when you look at photos.
Yeah, photos or videos, or sometimes live streaming. I've seen something happen in somebody's background or whatever. So I'm like, hey, you got this person there or whatever. So, and it's not that it doesn't really come up on here, but I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like the example of the doll. When Cindy put up the doll, I saw her freaking mouth do something weird. Her face changed.
Now, Mondo saw that. Mondo, you saw that too?
I did.
Okay.
The thing is, and we've had this conversation a lot too. We've come to the conclusion that we think there's certain things that is just for the moment and just for the participants that are there.
Could be.
Right. If we recorded it and went back to look at it, you were not going to see it recorded. And there's been a lot of times that, just like yourself, you try to take that picture and that wasn't going to come out, but you saw it. There's been times where we've gotten amazing evidence and we weren't filming because we decided we weren't going to do it.
We're closing up or we're setting up and something's happening, and
and it was just a for you thing.
Yeah.
My best thing that I can say is I have seen the creeper that everyone has mentioned from Waverly Hills. I have seen that creeper. Again, like Jenny was mentioning,
rake-looking thing that's on the floor.
Yes,
I didn't see it either.
She didn't see it because she was packing up.
Yeah, we were
in the room. And I was looking out the window towards where their gift shop is. So where the gift shop is you have to, from the street level, go down some stairs, and the gift shop is right there. That was kind of like the meeting room before you go to investigate.
Yeah, when they put you in there.
They put you in there. You pay your entrance, or if you want to buy some stuff, you can buy some stuff from there. Then they'll take you to where you have your like nerve center, so you can go in and out and grab equipment and whatnot.
Okay.
So we were in the nerve, and I was looking out the window towards where the gift shop was. What it appeared to me was as a black cat, but it didn't have the shiny eyes that you would see if you're looking at a black cat at night.
Or a cat period.
It didn't have those like reflective shiny eyes.
Gotcha.
So that's what caught my attention. And then like it looked at me looking at it booked it to the staircase. And when it booked it to the staircase, it changed form to like a shadow, but like a human type of thing. So I saw it like go down the stairs. And if I wholeheartely believe if I was videoing it, I would have never seen it. That was just something like we believe,
like a little wink. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that was for you type of thing.
Yeah. The other one I had happen to me similar to the Winchester house was we were filming this really active place, and one of the claims was footsteps running down the hallway. Now they have dogs, but the dogs were outside for the purposes of the investigation. And sure enough, we just finished an EVP session. I had the camera rolling. I was about to turn it off, and then I see, as well as hear, this thing go charging down the hall. And it was this demented-looking ape or monkey, about the size of a chimpanzee. It had no hair. Its skin was elephantine and wrinkly and weird and chapped, and it was so hunched over, I did not see a head, if it even had a head. But I caught it. I caught the sound of it going, you know, monkeys run kind of sideways when they run.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. This, whatever the hell this thing was, go charging down the hall. It made enough noise. The noise showed up on camera, on the mic, but no visual. And I was perfectly primed to capture it too. Didn't happen. Everyone heard it, but I was the only one who saw it. Even the client didn't see it. So I heard it. I hear it all the time. I said, I saw it. You don't want. You're be glad you didn't see it. It was disgusting.
Yeah. And sometimes I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people, like our friend Joy, like she's scared to see something. So I think she kind of like closes that off. But she's like, damn, I wish I could see something. But then, I think she's starting to like open up and like see those stuff. But then she's always like, that's this, is this. Like she's always shutting it down. And I kind of think you're just closing yourself off doing that in the first place. But sometimes I think people, if they would see something, they would just be like, what the hell? Because I've seen some disturbing stuff. But I don't know. Spirits do whatever the hell they want. They look all types of crazy to me.
Exactly. So that's what happened to me when I first started my paranormal journey. I was scared to go to sleep and I had to watch SpongeBob, or I had to go make a trip to the demented Walmart just to be able to explain what was going on. Yeah. And now I'm doing sensory deprivation, experiments by myself in pitch black rooms. You have to. Jenny is the one that taught me this. Everyone has those gifts in them. It's if you choose to develop them or not. If you want to turn tail and run the other direction because you're too scared, or like us, if we hear the scary thing in that direction, that's where we're going. We're going that way. Like that's how you develop your skills.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. There's I couldn't have put it better than myself. Listen to these people. They know what they're talking about. Well, Jen Mondo, thank you so much for being on the show. We are at the end of our time. I got your YouTube channel up. Why don't you tell us where else we can find you?
So the YouTube, I was just looking here. I don't know what made me look there in the first place, but the paranormal. Yeah, you've been missing.
Oh my gosh, I'll change that right now.
Everybody should know how to spell. Like, you pull it up. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, it's Jen and Mondo, Jen and Mondo 305 Paranormal. You can find us on Instagram, on YouTube, and TikTok. I have a separate page, Mr. 305 Paranormal. There you see on Instagram. And there you can see some of investigations and some of the other stuff that I like as well.
Like sports and
anime and just me, what makes me and definitely check out in the 305 Paranormal YouTube that cross country investigation thing, as well as Jen and I, we've been fortunate to work with some Spanish television channels to do investigations. We have those there as well.
Yeah, you can find them on a playlist there. So there's 2 different playlists for one's for Univision and the other one's Telemundo that we currently work with now. And then so we have our stuff with them. And then when we do our live shows on Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, you'll see them on there too.
Yes, please watch 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Spook Coast to Coast with our amazing guests, Joy and Joy, JJ Paranormal. Check us out.
Yes. And then we're going to see Tim on there soon. So
that's right. For sure. Thank you so much, both of you. It's been a fantastic interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight, and we had Jen and Mondo from 305 Paranormal on the show. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time on Paranormal Insight. As soon as I hear... If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.